Gritty performance. I thought Grand Lake played extremely hard. We knew what kind of kids they were, all the stuff they went through this year and battle tested. But I thought our kids in the second half came out and made some adjustments and played the way we've played all year. And that's just real physical football. And it was just good to see that because we were sluggish. I mean, I'm not going to make any bones about it. I think a lot of that had to do with Grand Lake. But our guys came out in the second half and played the way we played all year.
Was it surprising to see Creighton and Clement get a boatload of the stats offensively this afternoon?
No, it's not to us. I mean, that's kind of how we go. I mean, those guys lead the team in carries as far as per game. And now I think Deuce probably had a few more today. But the way they were playing us, it forced us to do that. And Deuce made some good adjustments in the second half on our option reads and getting him to the edge because he's an awfully good athlete and very physical runner.
Coach, I think you know the legacy Vic built in Oak Grove for many years, but won back-to-back championships. Do you feel like you kind of etching your own name in Oak Grove legacy?
Well, I think these players are. We say it all the time that you can have all the X's and O's you want, but we've got really good players. Our guys go at it the right way. These guys have been going at it since they were freshmen and totally bought into our system and the way they are just prepared for practice, prepared for a game. It's all about them and the way they perform.
Ryan, from the way a coach runs a football program, from the moment that you took over at your alma mater through 2 straight state championships now, what would you say is the biggest difference within the Oak Grove football program?
I think it's more about continuing what we had done and building on it and making it even better. Because that's every coach wants to get better every year, and you're never going to be content. And it just goes back to the guys. I mean, if you don't have guys buying in, if you don't have guys showing up during COVID and at 8 a.m. and since August, since June, every day. These guys didn't miss. They never missed a workout. So that's a lot for a guy. They didn't go on vacation. If they did, they planned it around the weeks we gave them off. So if you don't have guys willing to do that, it doesn't matter how tough you want to be or how physical you want to be or what kind of scheme you run. These guys just bought in.
What was Grand Lake doing that kind of stymied the offense a little bit for you guys? It looked like that they obviously, you knew coming in that they were a good tackling football team. They swarmed, and they looked to do that pretty well today.
Well, I think they put us in some bad situations field position-wise, first of all. And then I think some of their movements up front, because they've got some big guys. 64 was a load in the middle. We had to figure out kind of what he was doing and where he was going. I think us fumbling the football on the inch-yard line, that was huge. That would have been a big play for us to go in 14-0 and maybe possibly get the ball back. But, credit to them, they made some big plays on offense, too, to keep our offense off the field and keep our defense out there.
Is there any understanding how important that kickoff was in terms of the way the momentum goes? You know as well as I do, how quickly that can shift.
Oh, no doubt. They come out with a great play call on the sweep pass, executed it well, get the big play for them, and then what Bud Holloway's done all year, and that's just make big plays, and it wasn't a bigger one in the game.
Ryan, considering July and August, we never thought we'd probably get to this point, get a chance to kind of reflect how much you would have missed these guys in this moment if the season wouldn't have happened.
No, I can't even put it into words because we've had that talk in the office. Going into June, July, how was I going to be able to tell these kids that, and we knew what kind of group we had. I think they've exceeded expectations from a lot of people, but we knew what we had, and having to have that talk of, hey, we're not going to have a season because it got close. We all know that. We got close to not having a season, and LHSA and administrators across the state have done an excellent job of putting these kids on the field. And it's not words that describe it. If we were to have to tell them we couldn't play.
To the guys, could you just sort of reflect for a moment on this season as a whole and how much it meant for you guys to sort of, like Ryan said earlier, kind of etch your names in Oak Grove football history and finish this thing off the right way with the state championship?
Pass it around.
Yeah, we talked about all year our legacy and how we want to be remembered, and that's our goal is to be remembered this way, like the back-to-back state championships on our senior year.
It means a lot to me knowing that we went back-to-back and we live in the legacy of our little kids, so that's very special for a bunch of people around Oak Grove because a bunch of their kids don't grow up to play football for Oak Grove High School, so that's very special.
Like Ron said, we got a lot of younger kids, even the coaches' kids. Many coaches' kids that look up to us, and we've been there. We've been in their shoes. We've looked up to older players that have set good foundations, have left good legacies up for us. As football players, we know that we have you know, those younger kids that really look up to us, and we like to set great examples for them. And, you know, it's really important to set a foundation to build on, and we've learned that. You know, winning last year, taking all the way last year, and then winning this year, it really sets a statement on how we built a foundation, and we'd like to do that for our younger generation also.
I just want to leave behind our legacy, but nothing feels better than going back to back.
Hey, Deuce, as someone who had like a different role last year in that championship game last year, to take control of the offense this year, what kind of feeling is that knowing you had the keys to the offense in 2020 that kind of delivered the state championship?
You know, it's a great feeling. You know, I had my doubts about it, but as soon as I stepped into the position, I knew that I'm going to get any position you put me on the field. I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to do my best at it. And I grew into it well. You know, I was very familiar with the offense last year. I played running back, and you know, the state championship last year didn't really work out very great to me because I broke my ankle in the first quarter. But it means a lot to come back and be able to play this full game and really get the win with, you know, with me being able to play the full game.
Hey, Deuce, that being said, with you breaking your ankle last year, was there ever that doubt of, gosh, I don't know if I'll ever play the championship game again?
There really was, but it also added fuel to my fire to want to play in another one, and just to show what I can do and show more people what I can do, what I'm capable of.
Ryan, I think we asked you this question last year, but there's still one more 1A game to be played, but do you have any doubt who the best 1A swimmer in this program would be?
No, I have no doubt. I can say a little bit more confidence this year. I know Coach Fitzgerald's going to be watching, but I think for sure we're the best team in 1A or Division 4.
Have you all talked this week, you, Coach Fitzhugh?
Very little. There's been some jabs during our game week, this year of, who was the best team. I think that was a little bit to do with Aaron, kind of stoking the fire a little bit, but no, it hadn't been a whole lot of talk, but I feel confident this year we can say we're the best team in 1A or Division 4.
Hey, Ron, obviously you were feeling it all game long, 142 yards in the first half alone. What kind of fueled you throughout the game today?
Practicing harder, Coach tell us to practice hard every day. Practice. So I came to this game and I was thinking, do what I always do, just run the ball, play run crazy football.
I think you saw in the first quarter how Grand Lake's defense was really holding you guys at bay. What did they do differently from your point of view for you to be so successful in the second half?
Can you say that again?
I was asking you, with Grand Lake holding pretty much bottling guys up in the first half, what did you, from your point of view, what did you see that Grand Lake wasn't doing in the second half to be so successful today?
I mean, some of the plays they weren't getting to me fast enough, so it created space for me to give big plays. So I took advantage of that and started,
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it.